Welcome back. It's time to talk a little soccer, and we had a huge game going on yesterday over at Parkside. The Rams girls team was taking on crosstown rival Bennett with a chance at being crowned co-Bayside South on the line. And it didn't take very long for the road team to make themselves right at home in that thing. Brittany Boardman fires that one in off the deflection from about 25 yards out. After that, though, the Rams would settle down and they controlled the ball and they controlled the tempo. Ava Walter on a breaker right there gets a shot off, but it sails over the upright. Shortly after that, the freshman on a breakaway again takes another shot and comes within a foot of tying that thing up. But Parkside was not going to let up. Blair Villov right here fires that thing from 30 yards out, goes near post, and unloads for the equalizer. She went on to have the game winner in overtime as the Rams get a huge win, 2-1 the final there. And that makes for one of the strangest ties that you have ever heard coming into this thing now. Deadlocked with Stephen Decatur. And I'm joined now as a man that's going to try and help me try and make some sense of what comes next as both teams are basically done with their conference play. The head coach of the Parkside girls soccer team, Brandon Havis. Brandon, thank you so much for joining me right now. First of all, let's talk a little bit about that game coming in. So much pressure and a lot of expectations for Bennett, too, because if they win that, they're in the same boat. Sure. Talk a little bit about your team. I mean, they scored that early goal right there. It seemed like it could have taken the wind out of your guys' sails, but you guys kept battling, and you came up with a huge win. Yeah,
I mean, basically, we've been down a lot this year. We've tended to give up a lot of early goals, so we've been in that position before, and the main thing we always kind of communicate to our girls is stay positive, stay focused, and stick to the game plan that we've been working on. And that's exactly what they did, and we got our chances, and Blair finished with about 2 minutes left in the first half, and then we just played our hearts out after that. So.
Well, the big question is now things come to a coin flip, which is almost what you hear in movies and stuff. You don't expect to see it. I mean, how does this all break down? How did it come to that? And then basically, you know, what comes next for you guys with this coin flip?
You're right. I mean, I kind of thought it was a myth, you know, in the past because we've ran into a problem similar. But basically, we were tied in the Bayside from the first games, which is what counts. And then we were tied head-to-head with a 1-1 record against each other. And then we were tied overall at 10-2, assuming we both win on Monday. And in the rules, it states at that point it's a coin flip. So we've gone through 3 tiebreakers. Even though we are 1 game better in the conference, we're 7-1 in the conference versus 6-2. But you know, it's going to come down to a coin flip, and I guess we'll see what happens after that.
Well, the big question is, you got a lucky coin? You going to go heads or tails? I mean, where is it? Who picks the coin? Do you both pick one? How does this happen?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to figuring out the whole process. But if I get to choose, I would say tails never fails. We'll go with that. And like I said, I'm excited to see what happens. It's unfortunate that it comes down to it. Both teams have played their hearts out all season. We've had great battles for every single game, not just with Decatur, but Bennett as well. So it's a shame it comes down to something such as that. But hopefully we get one more lucky bounce that we've been getting all season, and we'll go from there.
Coach, real quick, talk to me a little bit about Villov. She, you know, has kind of evolved into that team leader right now. And only a junior, she's incredible leading the conference right now, I think, in scoring. Yeah. What have you seen out of her this year, and kind of talk about her growth?
Her growth has been more emotional as far as how she's leading the team. She's always been an incredibly skilled player, as you guys have noticed, you know, covering us in the past. And but to see her grow as a leader has been the most, I guess, the most beneficial thing to our program. She's really stepping up, bringing on the younger girls under her wing, working with them, and it's showing off on the field as well. It's very easy for her to take over games, but now the fact that she's able to use the rest of the players, then we're working together as a team, which is something that we're always looking for, regardless of how talented she is. And that's where I've seen the most growth, and I cannot wait to have her for another year as well.
Yeah, young team. You guys aren't going anywhere, and it's going to be fun watching, you know, the rest of the season as well as the playoffs and everything else.
Absolutely.
But it is time for our last quick commercial break, or I should say our next to last. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little national sports. The Ravens taking on the Niners. We're going to preview the big game next.
My name is Jacob Glover, and I'm a forward for Pickermont High School, and you're watching Dumb Over Sports Insider.